Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Before the video begins, a few months ago, I think it was December or maybe November, I did a Vinyl Legends series where I went into full detail about my favourite albums. Now, Revolver was featured in that series. I think it's the second video or maybe the third one. And it's a 16-minute long video where I talk about that album, review it and, sing its praises. So, if you want to see a review of that, I'll link it in the description. I don't really want to repeat myself, It's the only one that's had an updated review since I originally did these videos. So go and watch it there. I'm not going to cover it again. So with that out of the way, play the intro. So as I said today, you probably guessed, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Rolling Stones. No, I'm joking. But this is amazing. And my best memory of this, so in Liverpool, you have Liverpool FC, and then you have Everton FC. I think they're FC, yeah, because it's a football club. And then in between the two stadiums, you have this beautiful park. Like, it's a huge park, and you could get lost in it walking around. I loved it. So I have my big red headphones on, the ones over there. And I walked around this park listening to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And it was amazing. I'd just come from Strawberry Fields, but I'd just come from Penny Lane. It was just so cool. And I'm not a huge football fan, but the park was amazing. And it was sort of like, if you're in the UK, you'd understand, but football is a big, big, big deal for many people. And seeing those stadiums is on the list of things to do in Liverpool. So I'm not too bothered about the football, but it was a really beautiful park. And I had a lovely time. Liverpool's absolutely amazing. But anyway, let's talk about the looks. First time in a vinyl review episode, I'm going to advise that you do not buy this record. What I mean is, buy a regular copy on a regular vinyl of Sgt. Pepper's. Do not buy the picture disc unless you already own the regular copy. When it comes to Abbey Road, I own the 2009 reissue, so it wasn't a problem buying the 2020 mix on a picture disc because that's really cool. And this is cool, but it sounds a bit... I don't know, it doesn't sound right, and it's probably because it's a picture disc. And it doesn't skip or anything. A lot of people will tell you that these will skip, but I've never had a problem with any of them. But it just doesn't sound great compared to playing it on the PC, which is bad, because vinyl's supposed to sound better, I'm team vinyl. Also, you may have noticed the sleeve I put it in. When I bought this, it was £30, $31, I don't know exchange rates. And it came in a plastic bag. Literally the same kind of bag you'd get in a supermarket for your food. It was ridiculous. I'm like, hang on, this is expensive. You could at least given me something better. And then that is the reason why you buy picture discs, because that's beautiful. So that's side A with the famous album cover. And then side B is just stunning. This is amazing. I absolutely adore this. And I'm thinking of putting it up on the wall, to be honest. When I buy, I'm definitely going to be buying a regular copy of this record. I'm going to try and find the 2009 reissue, because that's the original mix. This is 2017 remix by Giles Martin. And if I do pick that up, I'm going to put that picture disc up on the wall. Just quickly as well, another band called Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, I think they're called. Yeah, they were parody the album cover with their album We're Only In It For The Money, which I thought was hilarious. I love this. I'm not a huge fan of the music, I must be honest with you. This was on sale and it looked like Sgt. Pepper, so I picked it up. Like, even just the gatefold is fantastic. Of course, if you buy the picture disc of Sgt. Pepper's, you miss out on that brilliant gatefold picture, which is such a shame. Right. Let's talk about the songs, because that's the best bit. So the music on this album is iconic. You know, there's not a lot I can add to the discussion about one of the greatest albums of all time. In fact, I believe it's either Rolling Stone magazine or another big famous one has named this the greatest album of all time, consistently year after year. It's not my favourite Beatles album. Despite it being amazing, I think that they've done so much better work anyway. So, the opening track is so iconic. It was 20 years ago today, Sergeant Pepper told the man to play. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Just amazing. And I love my favourite song on the album, and one of my favourite musical moments of all time, is where the open track sort of fades out and Ringo's vocals come in. With a little help from my friends. It's such an amazing song. And the way they had Ringo sing it is just superb. That was one of the best ideas they've ever had. Because Ringo has a unique singing voice and he usually only gets to sing one song per album. And this is the only song he sung, but it's just such a nice touch. And his voice, alright, the other three could have sung it better, but he's got such a unique singing voice that he just smashes it. It's amazing. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is stunning. You should try, if you like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, you should listen to the Love album, which I'll cover at a later date. The Love album's amazing, and what they did on that album, George and Giles, they mixed Beatles songs together, so you can hear Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds with Tomorrow Never Knows from their previous album. It's stunning. It's getting better all the time. Fantastic song. This is, Fixing a Hole, where the rain gets in. Stunning. And their vocals, Paul and John and Paul, I always mess that up. Their vocal harmonies across this whole album are top notch, 10 out of 10. You can't go wrong. She's Leaving Home, amazing. It's all fantastic. Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite is such a fun song. I love the circus vibes. John Lennon was inspired by an old circus poster. Again, the Love album version, you have to, if you've never heard the Love album version of, if you've never heard the Love album version of Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, you've got to give it a go. So after this, so you got the first chorus, and then the first verse, and then another chorus, and it kicks in with a Helter Skelter, as well as the circusy vibes of the Benefit for Mr. Kite, and the vocals from She's So Heavy. It is just brilliant, and you need to give it a go if you've never heard it. With Without You, George Harrison's Indian vibes, I always love it. This, unfortunately, is where it starts. It doesn't skip on my record, but it sounds really grainy and it doesn't sound great at all. And at points, this is heresy for a vinyl collector, but at points I've just turned the record off and continued the album on my PC or my phone or even the Google speaker. I can't stress enough that if you love this album, buy the regular version, not the picture disc. Lovely Rita, When I'm 64, I absolutely adore. That rhymes. And it's one of Paul McCartney's first songs he wrote, which he kept for so long. Lovely Rita, it's a great song, but it's never been one of my favourite Beatles songs, as well as Good Morning, Good Morning. Now, for years, so I got into the Beatles around 2017, I got into the Beatles because this album was remixed, and that's when I bought the Greatest Hits album. But obviously, everyone knows the Beatles. Everyone's heard a Beatles hit song anyway. And Good Morning was my alarm in the morning for years. So it still sticks in my head that when I hear it, I have to get up. And then with Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Reprise. Again, it's amazing. But one of the greatest musical moments, again, of all time is where that song is fading out and the piano comes in for A Day in the Life, which I named, it wasn't in my top 5 closing tracks of all time, but it was like an honourable mention. It's just so good. John's vocals and lyrics are superb. And then I love, 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 love Paul McCartney's verse. It really adds something to the track. And of course, the closing bit with the orchestra builds up and up and up and up and up, and then just crashes down, is one of, it's one of his music's greatest moments. Or I can't even brain today. It's one of the greatest moments in music history. That's what I'm trying to say. The whole album is truly something. So in conclusion, in an earlier episode of this review series of Beatles anyway, I said that an album had come out a year. I said 64 and it was 63. And I genuinely had someone message me really pissed off because it was 63, not 64. And apparently it's such a big deal. Anyways, that was just... So... I'm going to go again. I ruined that. So this is a 9 out of 10. It's just a music legend. Everyone knows Sgt. Pepper's. And, before I go, I went to the Beatles story, or the Beatles Museum in Liverpool. If you've never been, you've got to go. It's amazing. And you walk into this section, and they've got a big Sgt. Pepper's, like they have the album cover, but they have all the mannequins, or I think they're cardboard cutouts there with the Beatles cover. It's just amazing. And they have the costumes, the colourful costumes. Now, I'm not sure if they're the original ones. They're probably remakes, because those costumes must be priceless, but it's an amazing place to go. I think when I do the Let It Be video, which is the last one, I'm going to talk about Liverpool itself, because you've got to go if you haven't. Thanks for watching. If you love Sgt. Pepper's as much as I do, let me know down below, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone.